Hey y'all, Purpose Girl here. So glad to be back with you. I wasn't with you last night, and that is because my school was having their annual Fine Arts Christmas program. And not only was it wonderful. And just listening to the young people sing, the fine arts choir, the drama, everything was amazing. But I am being so intentional, even while I'm doing this 21-day challenge, to ensure that I don't leave real human connection to jump online for online connection. And that's something that I'm really trying to be intentional about. So, I wasn't on last night, but there's a couple of things that I really did want to share with you last night. So this week I've been facing poverty with by dressing drab and not really doing too much in my attire. Last night I was dipped to death. You hear what I'm saying? I got dipped to death. I get in the car. I'm on my way to the Christmas program, and I'm like, oh snap! I'm supposed to be dressing drab, and I I was just kind of in automatic and really just got straight up dipped. I didn't think, oh man, you're supposed to be facing poverty through dressing drab. So I completely forgot. Last night was my last night of it, and I kind of completely, and I just wanted to let you guys know that in that I kind of slipped. I'm having some difficulties with internet connection. So if you see me looking over here, I'm trying to actually bring it up on my computer screen and to see if my computer gets better. But anyway, to tell you guys about that dressing drab, I completely forgot about it, and got all dressed up last night. But last night was my last day of that. So I'll be starting a new one today, and that one is going to be or tomorrow I'll be starting no technology at home unless it's for work. Unless it's for work. Oh my goodness. That is going to be wild. That for me is going to encompass no TV. That's going to encompass no, searching the internet or being on my phone on Pinterest. I am not the I'm on Facebook only for Purpose Girl Ministries. So that is something that I will continue posting my videos on Facebook, or catching up with my the people who have liked my page on Facebook. I'll be doing that, but I will consider that work because my ministry is work. But join me in this challenge this week. No technology at home, no radio, if it's conceivable that anyone still has one of those, no phones, no TV, DVRs, videos, whatever it is that you're doing, no technology at home except for stuff that you need to do for work. What that would also mean is that if I have clothes to wash, then I'm going to hand wash them. Like, that's where I'm going with this challenge. Now, mind you, I don't think I'll be washing clothes next week if I have to hand wash them, but basically that'll put you in the mindset. I'll never forget years ago in high school. The story really impacted me, and I never forgot it. It was a true story about a woman that was living in deep poverty, and she would hand wash her children's clothes every night. When they came home from school, she would hand wash their clothes, and she was so deep in poverty that she did not have hot water, so she would hand wash their clothes in cold water, and as a result her hands would dry and crack and bleed. And so she was like, okay, I'll go get some Vaseline to try to help my hands. And she was in such poverty that price the Vaseline. And the Vaseline was at that time $1 and change. and she decided to save up for it because that's how much in poverty she was. She saved up the amount she needed for the Vaseline, and when she went to the store, it was 3 to 5 cents. I can't remember the amount of cents, but it was below 5 cents. So anywhere from 3 to 5 cents more than she had saved, and she had to leave the store without it because she legitimately didn't have 3 to 5 pennies. That story stuck with me. The story was that her infant, she would use cloth diapers and hand wash them, and she would leave her baby with her mother, and the mother would like leave the diapers on the baby until it stuck to the baby's skin. It was such a tragic story, but it was a true story, and as a teenager I read that. It made me feel very, very grateful for all that I have. And so as I think about this week with no technology, I think about, people that maybe can't afford a washer and can't afford to go to the laundromat. And so they would be hand washing their children's clothing and all of that. And so I will not be washing clothes this week, but that's not an option for people that don't have modern technology to wash their clothes or the money to go to a place that does. So that already, I haven't even started, and already it's already set the tone and already caused me to be thinking about people that really kind of struggle with that and experiencing that empathy. And I wanted to say a note on facing poverty in this challenge. This is not so that we would feel sorry for people who are living below the poverty line, but this is so that we would empathize. And that's two different things: feeling pity for someone and empathizing with someone, two different things. And this challenge is really teaching me to empathize and to listen to the Spirit as He asks me to help people, as well as to listen to the Spirit when He is not asking me to help people in a certain way. And lean in and listen to how to help someone. Sometimes the way we want the help that someone would, when we listen to the Holy Spirit and when we actually listen to Him, we get a sense of what the need really is and how we're being asked to help, if we are being asked to help. So I wanted to share that note because God is making that pretty clear to me throughout this week. And so what are you guys going through? I'm on live on my phone, and so I don't really know how to bring up the chat. Let's see. I don't see the chat on my phone. So if you are chatting, unfortunately, I can't see you, and I want to see you desperately because I want to see your comments if you're making any. Okay, maybe you're not. All chat is live. All messages are being shared. Those of you who are on, I want you to see how you are experiencing this challenge so far. I did not complain today, and that's amazing because I woke up feeling tired, and usually when I'm tired, I'm more prone to complaining. And the funk that I've been in is lifting. And God has been very merciful. God has been very, very merciful to me. He's been giving me what I need, and the funk is really kind of lifting. And even while I was, feeling a little funky about things, I still had a feeling of gratefulness, and I believe that that's what's pulling me out. But here's what. Now I want to get into our step 4. Step 4 in our forgiveness process is to address the perpetrator. And the note I want to make out in front is, if the perpetrator has done you harm and violently you, then do not address the perpetrator. If it is a dangerous situation, this is a step you skip, unless there is a safe manner in which you can do this. But if the perpetrator is violent or has violated your person, then you do not want to address the perpetrator. But if it is something like a girlfriend said something trifling to you, or someone did something to hurt you, or you feel like a friend or family member betrayed you, address the perpetrator with your feelings, with what it caused. Say, hey, the other day you said something about my hair, and I really felt like you were diminishing me, and it really hurt me. And I just wanted you to know that. Giving you the benefit of the doubt that you didn't mean to, but I want you to know that this hurt. And this is not the interaction that I would like to have with you. Because in addressing the perpetrator, then you set boundaries for the type of interaction that you would like to have with that individual moving forward. And this sets the stage so you don't have to cut and run. So many times we end up cutting people off and keeping it moving because we're like, if this is how you gonna treat me, then I'm not fooling with you no more because I don't need this space. But you never even had a real conversation. Sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, but you never even really had a real conversation with the person to say, hey, a real conversation. I know you didn't because you tried to do. That's not a real. That's dysfunctional. And a lot of times we have that. And I'm a culprit. There have been times when I spoke from my anger rather than from my vulnerability and my hurt. And the difference in that is one sounds like rah rah, you popping off, and the other one is saying, you really hurt me. And it takes vulnerability to do that. But the thing about it is, and if you read some of Brene Brown's work, I'm really impressed with Brene Brown. But if you read some of her work, say her name 3 times really fast, Brene Brown, Brene Brown. Anyway, sorry. If you really look at some of her work, you will find that vulnerability is what actually makes us strong and actually creates community. It's when we can't be vulnerable with each other that emotional cutoff comes into play and we're out of here. And then we don't have community. And then we find that all our relationships end up in, or a good bit of our relationships end up in upheaval, because it is certain that someone is going to do something to hurt you. That is certain, because if they are human, they're going to mess up. That's just life. If they are human, at some point they are going to mess up. My husband has messed up. My children have messed up. I have messed up. My mama has messed up. My siblings have messed up. My daddy has messed up. Everyone messes up, but not everyone is out to harm you, and not everyone wants to hurt you. So a conversation addressing the perpetrator. Hey, listen, the other day you said or you did this, and this is how it made me feel, and it really hurt me, and I would not like our interactions to be like that moving forward, because I love you and I don't want to feel uncomfortable or harmed in your presence. And that, when we are vulnerable to the people that we love and the people that love us, not only does it get to check in to find out if this person really loves you, but most people that love you, unless they are dealing with mental health challenges or they have experienced trauma where they cannot turn toward people in that way because their own damage and their own issues, and sometimes that is the case. But most people who love you, when they hear you say, you said X and it caused X, and now I'm feeling this way, most people that love you will turn toward that. And they will say, oh, I did not mean that, and I am so sorry, and how can we move forward in a different manner? And this addressing the perpetrator gives you the opportunity to figure out what you are dealing with in this relationship. And it also gives the other person a chance to explain and expound, because sometimes what we perceive is not actually what's really going on. So it's really important. And in addressing the perp, the other thing it does is it limits that silence where resentment grows. A lot of times we are silent on an issue and the enemy begins to talk to us. Yeah, she's trying to play you. Yeah, she don't have your best interest at heart. And in that silence, we begin to superimpose what people are thinking. But when we take a moment and first acknowledge the infraction, second, acknowledge it caused in us, 3, begin to pray for the person, for ourselves, and for the situation. Then 4, after we've done all that, that gave us a moment to now address the perpetrator in a way to be composed and calm, because now we've prayed through, we've thought through, we've accessed our emotions, so nothing is going to well up all crazy and catch us off guard. And then we can set the tone for this relationship and for the interactions in this relationship. And also deaden that silence where resentment grows and share what we are feeling. What happens is when we are vulnerable enough to say, sis, you hurt me. That thing hurt me. Then if that relationship moves forward from there, if that person turns towards you, then you have just deepened that relationship. You've just added more trust to that relationship. You've fortified that relationship so that it can carry more hurt, more trauma, more danger, more whatever y'all are going to go through down the line. You fortified it so it can hold it. The Bible says that when there is an infraction, when someone has done you harm, you go and you talk to them. If they don't receive you, you get a witness and then you go and talk to them. And the final step is you bring them before the whole church. Now, I'm not telling you to take your stuff before the whole church, but I'm definitely saying address the perpetrator with what you felt and what it's caused in the infraction and what happens, because sometimes people don't even know they've hurt you. People don't even know that what they said was harmful to you. So when we're able to do that, we deepen our relationships, and instead of cut and run, we get to deepen our trust and build stronger relationships. Remember, from purpose girl to you girl, you are free. Now stay free. Have a good night, y'all.